you drop it down low, no one can do that. Baby, how you do that? Baby, how you do that? Nena, muévelo, muévelo, muévelo. Nena, muévelo, muévelo. 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 Me gusta cómo baila esta cumbia, cómo mueves boom boom, sabrosura. The way you drop it down low, never can do that. Baby, how you do that? Baby, how you do that? Oh, oh.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And you can't. Hey, Coyote, America, land of opportunity.
Welcome to Chamber Picks Playoff Edition.
Playoffs, baby.
Coyotes have their first round playoff game on Friday night at Edgewood Stadium, which is one of our favorite places to play. They're 2-0 there this year. So,
There we go.
yeah, but they will be on the road Friday night. We are in our regular stations tonight. We're back at the Chamber office in downtown Uvalde. But a huge shout out to our chamber partners over here and LMG Productions for setting that up last week.
Amen.
I have had nothing but great reviews of that, and it went off perfectly. I think everybody was really happy to see that, and we probably have some new viewers tonight because of that, because they're just great reviews about it. I don't know if y'all kind of heard the same things, but I think that's definitely on the agenda for next year because it went off really well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We actually talked about that, and that was kind of nixed pretty early by the tech guys over there. But we talked about doing it on a roll and float the whole time. But it definitely has to be back next year. Well, Mr. Edwards, you want to start us off with our new tradition here?
Cheers, cheers for Uvalde High. Send all the praises up to the sky. Send that football down the field. Don't let a hawk interfere. We never stagger, we never fall. We always get there with that football. All you kids from UHS, we're all out to win this game. Yeah. All right. I hope at least a half a person learned the lyrics to that song.
After all these, I hadn't sang that song in 25 years, and You've got me back on the
Yeah,
record.
you probably find yourself in the shower singing it when you're scrubbing off the shower.
Well, a couple things before we get started. I guess, we talked about LMG Productions. We want to thank them again for bringing us tonight and last week. We appreciate it, guys. We're in conjunction with Uvalde Leader News and their picks, and we have the pigskin sheets here. Please follow along at home. If you can't make it to Edgewood Stadium on Friday night, please follow us at uvalderadio.net. Those were our guest pickers last week, Sal and Al, and they did an incredible job. So I knew they're doing a great job on the radio. Unfortunately, I've been at every game. I hadn't caught one, but for those that have, I think they're just phenomenal and really have stepped up their game. And
recommended by me and Enrique.
And let's see what else here. If you hadn't had a chance, follow Coach Miller's podcast this week, his Playoff Edition podcast. I'm sure that'll be populated up on the Chamber Facebook page soon. And last but not least, our Chamber Business of the Month this month, we'll get to talk about them a little bit later here. Yeah, is Luigi's. So do they know that yet?
He'll be around.
They can probably know now.
Well, they better.
But we will tell them when they get here for sure. So everybody make sure to welcome Luigi's in as our Business of the Month with the Chamber. So that being said, well, let's talk a little bit about records. Records are getting kind of tight here. Last week's winner was Mr. Edwards down there at 9-3.
Look at it.
Something about give a monkey a typewriter. Blind dog finds there's lots of
it. It was that live audience.
Hey, and did we introduce our guest?
Oh, no, wait, I didn't. I'm sorry. He's an old hat at this, and I'm kind of a little bit nervous. I'm kind of in his chair tonight. Let's just see what he's used to. So our guest speaker from the Uvalde Leader News, Mr. James Bolts, welcome.
Mr. Electricity.
Bolts. In the wise words of the legendary New York Yankee Yogi Berra, I'd like to thank everyone who made this night necessary. So let's get on with it, guys.
Well, we definitely appreciate you bringing us the picks every week. My son did tell me that this is probably your hardest slate of college games this week. There's a lot of toss-ups there. Mm-hmm. And so, there's been a kind of couple unkind words when we've opened up the sheet and gone, man, make this a little bit easier.
I couldn't find a good obscure game this week, so we had to go with Army and Troy. So,
that's close.
I'll take it.
And we'll definitely take it because, we have no favors this week on the highest of the college games, that's for sure. So, well, anyway, back to our standings. We've got, like I said, we had Mr. Edwards in first place last week, but in first place overall, Mr. Tapoya. He's 3 games up on the field.
Look at it. Look at it.
He's a shoe-in, man. 3 games.
Hold on, one more week.
Well, you got 2 weeks for sure. You got this week and next week for sure. Hopefully a week after that. But and behind him, 3 games back, we got Mama Jan Elliott.
Yeah, Mama Jan.
We have Mr. Chance Nuzzi.
Woohoo!
It's a 4-way tie. We have myself and the guest picker are all 3 games back. So
thank you.
You've got a little pressure tonight. Yeah, we need to be watching Nano and what kind of picks he makes and seeing if we can kind of buck him a little bit there on 1 or 2 of them. So anyway, that being said, y'all ready to get started tonight?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Well, we will kick off with the NFL games. We'll kick off with kind of one of our local game up here that we've got some good fans, some big fans. We've got the Dallas Cowboys at 6-2, a 4.5-point favorite, visiting Lambeau Field, and the Green Bay Packers at 3-6. We'll start down there with you, Mr. Volts. What do you think?
Tell you what, this is a tough ball game. Dallas has lost, I think, 7 of the last 8 games they played in the series. Mm-hmm. But you got the McCarthy factor here. McCarthy, former coach, going into Green Bay, wants to show them, hey, you should have never fired me. And let's face it, Green Bay has not been playing well. Their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, has, been giving one wide receiver another the eye roll lately. They can't seem to win a game. So Dallas is favored by 5 points in this game, and for Gabe Tafoya, a guy that I know really loves the Dallas Cowboys.
That's
I'm
right.
going to go with the Cowboys.
And if loving the Cowboys
This is
is
wrong.
He doesn't
I don't
want
Gabe
to
doesn't want to be
There
right.
you go. So he's picked. Now Green Bay owns this series, but I'm gonna pick Dallas.
Oh, no. Okay, you are. Okay, I thought you were going to
No.
go with Green Bay there.
No, I was grimacing because I had to pick Dallas, but sorry. Well, I mean,
Well,
I want to
Green
win.
Bay's got a lot of injuries they're dealing with, and I don't think they have a lot of depth at those positions. And
I
Rodgers
think they traded most of it away, didn't they?
I don't know. Did they trade some
Yeah,
people
they-
away?
Yeah. Well, not. I don't think by the trade deadline this year, but I just think over the.
Oh, just over the
Devontae,
years.
yeah.
I mean, Devontae.
Yeah,
That was
Devontae.
big
Yeah,
time loss.
pretty big.
I think that may be why Aaron Rodgers is rolling his eyes. He's
Yeah,
saying,
and
"See,
that-
coach, look, see."
And that's why they don't
See?
have depth
Yeah.
as well, you know. But
Catch the football.
no, I'm looking for the Cowboys to pour it on this week, get a little payback for the last 15 years of beatdowns and last second playoff losses.
It was
so
a
that's
catch.
what I'm looking
got
for.
it.
It was a catch.
Judge still caught it all these years later. He still caught it.
Well, I'll tell you what, everybody's going to go with the Dallas Cowboys, but I cannot leave my Green Bay Packers. I'm going to go with Green Bay.
Good for
might-
you,
Aaron Rodgers
John.
might surprise you guys.
What about the
So-
cheerleaders?
Hey, why not?
Why not?
I just told you.
Hey, why not?
Give us some percentages. What do the percentages actually say on that? Real quick?
No, you don't want to. But you know what? Overall, I'm going to go with Green Bay.
Okay, good for you, John Jay.
All right.
I mean,
Yeah, I've got the Cowboys in this one. That's I think this may be well outside of Minnesota. This is the worst division in football probably. Yeah, they probably have the division series wrapped up already, almost as bad as the division is. So yeah, Cowboys are going to win this. I think they'll cover easy and probably going away.
Yeah, of course, going with Dallas on this one. I don't know, but for some reason, you know, somebody was saying earlier, it seems like Aaron Rodgers checked out this season. It seems like every time he plays against Dallas,
Yeah, he won't
he
check
just
out.
Checks back in.
Yeah, he checks back in, man. Hopefully he's checked out still, but
It's
give me
still
Dallas.
scary. Don't get me wrong.
It is. No,
but
it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, as much as I hate him, he's a legend, you know. So, give me the Cowboys.
There you go.
Yeah, I still listen to, because my wife is from Dallas, so I've lived in Dallas for about 6 years. I'm a big fan of the Ticket up in Dallas, and I still listen to that every morning, you know, in the morning. If y'all were still on the air, I'd listen to y'all though. But, you know, there's no radio station. But anyway, except for UvaldeRadio.net.
That's right.
Thank you.
Nice cover.
Yeah, I was set. It was a set of setting up, you know. But I was listening to McCarthy's press conference about this game. And he started crying. Like he started crying, and they asked him about what this meant, and he was saying that, and he got choked up talking about like I miss the people, and you know my daughters were born there, and I think that's really gonna have a big impact on the Cowboys. So I'm gonna go with the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going with the Cowboys. Nothing would be finer than to see them pound Green Bay up there, and Aaron Rodgers fan. I am not. And
Old man
if
bun.
not liking Aaron
Aaron pulls it off.
Rodgers, and if not liking Aaron Rodgers is wrong, I don't want to be right.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, our second NFL game of the week is the 6-2 Detroit Lions at the 3-6 Chicago Bears. This is another one. I think we've had Chicago 3 or 4 weeks in a row now here. So Chicago's a 3-point favorite. Mr. Volz.
I tell you what, this is really tough. Dan Campbell is doing a great job with the Lions, despite their numbers. He's a good coach. If they leave him alone, let him keep going. What they lack is a quarterback, and I think they're going to get that in the next draft. But they're building they have a great defensive team. That being said, Chicago does not have a very good defense. They showed that against Dallas. I'm tempted to go with the upset here, and I think I will. I'll go with Detroit.
Ooh, nice. All right.
Ooh. Again, it's weird saying the Bears, but I'm going to go with Chicago.
Say the Lions.
I could say, oh, it doesn't run. It doesn't sound the
not the
same.
same sound.
The Bears.
Yeah, I think Fields is going to have another good day rushing the ball against Detroit. So give me the Bears.
Chicago and Detroit. I got 70% that Chicago will take it.
There you go.
I think Chicago does have their quarterback, unlike Detroit, and they're doing the right thing. They are trading away defensive pieces, but they're getting draft picks, and they're going to build some stuff around him. I mean, because he brings that element to the field, that Lamar Jackson element to the field. I mean, he's definitely throw first, but he can run when he gets in trouble, and so that was the one thing against the Cowboys that really stood out to me. So yeah, I've got the Bears.
Ooh, I think it's gonna end up in a tie. No. This one goes out to our resident Bears fan, Liam Esqua. The Bears. Give me the Bears in this one.
So football, you are what your record is.
Yes.
That's the rule. But Detroit this year, they really kind of aren't what their record. I mean, they're a better football team than that, and like you said. Old Fighting Texas Aggie Dan Campbell is really got people running through walls, myself included. And I think Chicago is terrible on defense. And I think just the will to win and building off last week, let's go Detroit.
So what's Detroit's record?
I think they won 2.
2 and 6.
Oh, okay. I think you got that backwards.
Yeah, you said 6 and 2.
Did I say 6 and 2? Oh, no,
Yeah, and I was
2 and
like-
6. I'm sorry about that. No, they are definitely 2 and 6.
Well,
Something happened, I didn't know it.
Detroit was good to me last week. I picked those boys, but they're not home this week, and so I'm going to go with Cleveland. I'm going to go with Cleveland.
Or Chicago.
All right.
Chicago. They're both
Chicago, Cleveland, they're windy. They're up there by the Great Lakes. No, that's,
Cloudy and, nothing to do.
All right, our next game is a Willie Edwards special. We've got the 3 and 6 Arizona Cardinals at the 3 and 5 Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are a 1.5 favorite.
So do I get to go?
Yeah, we're gonna do this one.
He's alive. He's alive. He's alive.
I was listening to, my cousin lives in Fort Worth, and there's a radio show up there, and I was listening to it, and I heard that they traded Larry Fitzgerald.
They did?
Yeah. So I'm going against the Cardinals this week. I'm going with the Rams.
Oh, man. So, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't trust Kyler Murray as far as I can throw him. And he's a really small human being, so that's not saying much because I can probably throw him pretty good ways. But seriously, I think he's bad news, Bears. LA's at home, and you can't go wrong with Donald on the defensive line, so let's go Rams.
Yes, sir. Yeah, this one is I don't know. It could go either way. I'm just going to go with the Rams at home. No particular reason. I know both teams are really, really underachieving in my opinion, but I'll just take the home team on this one, I guess.
Well, and they just got just blindsided by Brady.
Oh, yeah.
Brady being Brady.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's just reliable as a lager at the bar,
Yeah, they're not as talented as they were last year, but you got to think it's going to click for the Rams eventually a little bit. I don't know. I'm going to go the Rams too. I'm probably going to pay for it, but I'm going to go the Rams.
LA, 69%. Go LA.
Nice.
I'm taking Arizona. Stafford's in the
All right.
concussion protocol.
Let's mix
By Sunday he might be okay, but
He may not play.
that's Sunday. Today's Wednesday,
Trying to lose that 3-game
and
lead.
the Rams are at home, but they don't have a real home field advantage.
No, they don't.
Other teams' fans go in there and make up like half the stadium. So, give me the Cardinals.
The money line's on Arizona, which surprised me. I don't know why. That's crazy. And I really don't care about either one of these teams.
And the spread's 3 on the Rams.
Yeah.
Or it was when I looked at
It
it.
was 3 to
Yeah.
begin with. It's gone down.
But
Quarterback.
only because of the injury. That's the only one that makes me want to go for Arizona. And I know there aren't any Cardinals in Arizona. They can't be.
I was going to ask you about that.
There aren't any. They don't go there. I'm pretty sure.
None of St. Louis, right?
So maybe they will be in L.A. I don't know.
I'm going to go with the Cardinals. I mean, if I want this to be a conditional pick, If LA's quarterback plays,
Oh, I did too. We all agree.
There's a caveat. Provisional mulligan.
This is my one. I need to make up some ground. This is my one. I'm hoping he plays. I'm hoping he plays.
Yeah, that's mine too. If Larry Fitzgerald comes back,
I'm going to take Arizona.
Bring him out of
All
retirement.
right. Our last NFL game. Now we have Cleveland, Mr. Edwards.
Yes.
We've got the 3-5 Cleveland Browns at the 6-3 Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are a 3.5-point favorite in this game.
Yeah,
Edwards?
I'm going with the squeaky fish. You know, remember you tell that story? They at the bottom there. Yeah. I'm going. Them and the Dolphinos.
Yeah, I'll go with the Dan Marinos.
They want him to.
Oh, that's
Two,
a good one.
for sure.
Me.
I think two is getting it going.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Took the words right out of my mouth, man. Tua is back. Looks like he's back from that concussion he suffered a few weeks ago. I think it'll be a little bit more competitive than people might think it is with Cleveland. I mean, they're Jacoby Brissett is just carrying that team right now. I mean, not carrying it, but he's doing a lot better than I thought he was going to do. However, I'm picking Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I've got the Dolphins also in this game.
Well, everybody's going with the Dolphins.
Uh-oh.
What's your?
You're trying to make it up on 1 week, aren't you?
I'm trying to look here at the stats here, but, well, let's go with Miami.
Miami?
Let's go with Miami.
How does it look?
Yeah.
You're going to go with
I've been waiting on that.
I know.
How's it look?
What are the percentages?
How's it look?
What are the numbers?
Looks good.
Yeah,
It's all in the timing.
Yeah.
Timing now, man.
Dolphins are on a roll since Tua's been back.
Yeah, definitely,
and
yeah.
I'm with Pablo. I mean, Cleveland's been doing well with Jacoby. I mean, they got Nick Chubb, so that helps a
Oh
lot.
yeah,
you know.
definitely. Yep.
But I'm going to stick with Miami this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. They're looking better, but I think Miami, and it's at home. I go with Miami.
Miami.
You know, I'm tempted to take the swing here and take
Well, do
Cleveland.
it.
They look very impressive against Cincinnati, very physical. The running of Nick Chubb. I didn't think that Cleveland could win with Brissett as their quarterback, and he had 278 yards against Cincinnati. On the other hand, I really like Tua. You can't beat those Alabama quarterbacks. So I'll go ahead and go with Miami.
Clean sweep.
Dolphins.
That's a bold pick.
Miami's got a lot of weapons, so that's a lot of weapons. They're a fun
yeah.
team to watch. That'll do it for the NFL. We'll get to our college games here. Our first college game, we've got a 12-point favorite, the 7-2 Alabama Crimson Tide, visiting the Hedges and Ole Miss Rebels at 8-1. It's a big game for both of these teams. Season's pretty much over for the one that loses it as far as being in any postseason, Alabama's holding on by a thread, but it's still a thread there, hoping on LSU losing. So anyway, Mr. Volz, well,
This should be a good ball game. I tell you what, I really like Alabama because of the quarterback. Bryce Young is just such a great quarterback, and I'm hoping that he will be the #1 pick of the Houston Texans in the 2023 draft. He'd be the perfect fit for the Texans. They really need a quarterback. That being said, Ole Miss has got a great team. Lane Kiffin is an underrated head football coach and has done a great job with the Rebels. And, their quarterback, Jackson Dart, 3 touchdown passes against A&M last week. Very impressive.
That's not exactly saying a whole lot, though.
No, the Aggies are playing good defense. It's the offense where they're struggling. So, but go with the Tide here. As you said, I think a 12-point favorite. Go with Nick Saban.
Yeah, don't you love watching him when things don't go right on the sideline?
Oh, yeah.
His heart rate must go. He doesn't really do anything, but he just walks
Yeah,
back.
it just looks like he's chewing nails. But he grits his teeth at night, don't you imagine?
A lot of gritting there.
Roll Tide.
I'd like to see Ole Miss win this game. Lane Kiffin kind of being the mentor and beating the protege beating the mentor. But I think Alabama's still a little bit too strong for him. So give me the Tide.
I'll tell you what, looking at both teams, this is going to be a very close game. I got 49% for Alabama and 51 for Ole Miss. Very, very, very competitive. So I'm going to go with Ole Miss.
There you go.
It's going to be tight. It's going to be a very close game.
Well, Brody before the Tonight Show was looking at some of the picks, and he was like, "Man, this is a toss-up. If Mama Jan and Nano pick one team, pick the other team." But I think Bryce Young's an incredible quarterback. He can just make all the throws that a lot of college quarterbacks just cannot make. And I saw a couple weeks ago Connor Wigman kind of tear Ole Miss up in the secondary, and I think Bryce Young has a field day. I got to go with Alabama. I just don't think Ole Miss has enough defense to stay in there.
Yeah, I agree. Roll Tide should be a good game, but they're just way too talented, Alabama.
Yeah. You said the Hedges, but I think it's a Grove in it.
It's the Grove. Yeah, you're right. The Hedges is in Georgia.
That's an awesome.
Yeah,
that's
between the Grove.
Oh no,
That's a great tailgating spot. We went there in 2012.
Yeah, it is.
We saw Johnny beat him, and that was awesome. Don't think that's going to be enough. Nick Saban is your key here. He got beat last week, or he's been beat twice this year, so
Just crazy.
he doesn't like that too much. Obviously, he doesn't like a whole lot on the sidelines. So I'm sorry, you got to go Nick Saban because he's going to come for your head.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to go with Alabama, but I hate the idea that Alabama still thinks they have a chance of, being in the playoffs, man.
No,
They've lost
man.
twice. You're done. boy.
No,
Ty goes to the, team that hadn't been there in a long time. So
Ty goes to the
I'm thinking
Saban.
Alabama.
Alabama.
If they're in the playoff picture.
Alabama.
Alabama series.
yeah. I mean, it's going to be if LSU drops another game and Alabama's in there, or if LSU wins out and one of them wins the SEC championship game, I think you'll see your first two-loss team. I don't think they'll keep them out of the championship.
Yep.
They'll be in there.
I think,
Well, those two, the name brands, yeah. I mean, there's
I just hope it doesn't come to that.
you'll see your first two loss. I think it's my prediction.
especially because you're gonna be playing Tennessee probably, and so they're probably not gonna lose another game, and that's a good beat if you two-loss team beat Tennessee.
Well, you'll have Georgia in the champion.
Oh, yeah,
you'll have
that's
Georgia
right,
in the championship
for sure.
But you got Tennessee right there.
way,
behind.
yeah.
I mean,
4 SEC teams.
you could you imagine that three SEC championship or three SEC teams in the playoff?
After watching this season,
there has to be some dominoes, but I mean, you could have a one-loss Tennessee. If Georgia's undefeated and loses that game, a one-loss Georgia, you can't put Tennessee in above Georgia, and it could make your head spin a little bit. I think it would be a lot of mad conferences around, but I think it's definitely one of the possibilities out there. All right, let's get on. Our next college game of the week, or it really is one here locally. We've got the number 4 TCU Horned Frogs at 9-0, and Mama Jan's grandson will be there.
He's a manager.
They're visiting Austin, Texas at night, facing the 6-3 Texas Longhorns. Longhorns are a 7-point favorite. I think Vegas may only be watching the first halves, but they are a 7-point favorite. Let's see. I think we started down here. We'll stay down here, Mr. Vols.
Well, needless to say, I'm going to take the Longhorns. I never choose against them. But I'll say this. I don't understand a team that's ranked number 4. They're undefeated. Everybody talks about how they're not given enough respect, yet Texas is favored by 7. That is that's a real surprise to me. Also, too, looking back at the trend of the series, TCU has won 6 of the last 8 games they played against Texas. Everything really points to TCU should win the game. All that being said, I'm still going with the Longhorns. Hook 'em.
Loyalty. Loyalty. Well, I guess I'm being loyal too, just because my grandson's at TCU, and I didn't talk to him or anything, but I love Sonny Dykes for many reasons. Ben played under his dad and at Tech, and After this season, Davis and Hodges against the people at Texas, I can't see it. Gotta go with those Horned Frogs, which is such a crazy, really stupid mascot. But anyway, I'm going with TCU.
Yeah. I was
Texas kind of restored my faith in them last week. I thought I was almost certain they were going to lose at K-State, and Jay kind of nailed it on the head. They held on there at the end. It was a really close game and won at the end. But James talked about the recent series. What'd you say? 6 out of 8.
6 out of the last 8.
What's been in common with all those, and that's Gary Patterson. Texas finally got over the hump and beat TCU last year, and guess what? He's gone.
He's at Texas.
And now he's at Texas.
The special assistant to the coach, which I never heard of such a position in my life. That's ridiculous.
So he probably still has keys, to the athletic building there at Fort Worth. So I'm going to take Texas.
Texas and TCU, both teams, they're going to have it out, but I'm still going to go with my Texas Longhorn.
There you go.
53%.
There you go. 53.
Wow.
I think there's going to be a lot riding on both teams here. We have a lot of pressure there, and I think Texas has shown the ability to start fast, and TCU hasn't. They've come back in the end, but I think pressure may do them in this time. We actually will be there Saturday night, and when we bought tickets to this game early, we thought, oh, this is the one we could make, but we didn't think that it was going to be this type of game. And now they're under the lights, and it's going to be just a crazy environment. I think TCU will come with plenty of fans and making a lot of noise, and hoping to stay in the playoff picture. But yeah, I think Texas starts fast and holds on again.
Longhorns, all right. I'm gonna go with the Horned Frogs. Yeah, I know they're on the road, but I don't know, just got a feeling they're gonna pull it out. I don't know. Mr. Chance?
Yeah, well, game day's there, and McConaughey's gonna be doing his horns.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, but I know y'all are orange-colored glasses there, John Conley's, and I'm just saying, you should have lost last week, and you should. Bama's just down this year, and I know you're judging your season off of that, but there's no way TCU all the way. I'm sorry.
And where did you go to school, Mr.
Texas A&M.
Oh, okay.
We'll get there. That's next time. No, but and then the thing with the hair, man. Like, if you played against some of us boys here, Jody Epp, old Primo, my cousin, and like the Ross Sutherland, so you got a mullet, that thing you won't by the end of the night, because that's a legal tackle. And so you want to solve the hair out of the back of the helmet problem? Start tackling by the hair. Coming back. I'm just saying, there's a bunch of
He's back in style. The mullet's back in style.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be if you played me. I'll tell you that right now. Put me on a defensive end.
Mullet.
All that being said,
ride you like a pony. Until they come off, and I'll just mail them to you. Get out of here with that. You look like a caveman. Jeez. Horrible.
So great.
Good quarterback, but hideous.
and your pick?
If TCU was 0-9, you still couldn't pick Texas.
No.
You still couldn't do it.
No, I picked Alabama against A&M. But I'm just watching what I'm watching, and Texas is a paper tiger. Sorry, they are.
Some people are loyal.
No, I know, and that's all good. Because I'm doing the same thing with A&M, and I'm riding that.
Hey, look, man, the election's over.
The wheels fall off.
And I didn't. I was paper.
Yeah, I should have.
It's all right.
No. I'm riding that A&M horse to the ground. So,
right,
this is a great time, too, for us. So, anyway, no, it's nothing personal. I'm just saying.
So I was a horny toad for a couple of years, year and a half, actually. And I did. This is kind of a long story, but I went to the 1969 TCU Texas game with the late Janie Briscoe Marmion was my date, and earlier in the year, TCU had played Ohio State, and they lost 62-0.
Oh,
and that was the banner headline in Sports Illustrated. Well, they played Texas and all year it had been Ohio State and Texas, 1-2, 1-2. And so Texas beat TCU 69-7. And so the lead sentence in the Austin American Statesman was, who's number one, Texas or Ohio State? No one knows for sure, but one thing is for sure, they're both 62 points better than the Frogs. So, that being said, you know, I think TCU is, you know, Jay Allen said it, they hadn't started fast in many games, but that confidence that comes from coming from behind, I think will serve them well, and they've impressed me the games I've watched. So I'm going to go with the Frogs. Ribbit.
All right. Well, we'll stay down there. I think Chance has already made his pick on this next game, but our next game we got the 3-6 Texas A&M Aggies at the 3-6 Auburn Tiger War Eagles. The War Eagles are a 1.5 favorite on this. Mr. Edwards.
Wow. Yeah,
That's
and
not right.
I'm going to have to go with the Aggies one more time. Auburn is, you know, they just fired their coach, didn't they? And, you know, they're probably in all sorts of turmoil. Hadn't had a good year. They'll be back, though, is my prediction at some point.
Yeah. Thank God we got them this week. Because, I mean, it's them and UMass, and I don't know who's the better football team, honestly, out of those two. Man, it's just one of those. We just snake bit this year. Man, you get hurt, and then half the team, half your starters got the flu last week, including your starting quarterback, which you kind of found is obviously the one that's going to take you in the next year and the year after that. But let's go with A&M. Everybody's back and healthy, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise too much further.
Ooh, they're both 3-6. You said, right?
Yeah.
Both 3-6.
Both 3-6,
and, basically a toss-up game.
Yeah.
On the plains.
What time is that game, Chance?
It's probably pretty early.
Nah, I didn't mean that as disrespectful at all. I just really want to know. I mean, you know, with the SEC Network, they'll play some games a little later that you wouldn't expect. It's a late game, and if it's an early game, but if it's a late game, you might have kind of a crowd on your hands. So.
It's not going to be prime time, so get your sunscreen ready.
Yeah, this season both programs are just struggling, man. I'm gonna have to stick with who I picked here. I'm gonna go with Auburn, I guess. Yeah. Over the Aggies. Give me Auburn.
I was trying to see real quick when the game was.
6:30.
6:30. Oh,
6:30.
Hey,
Hey,
there you
Hold
go.
that sunscreen.
Yep, put your moon screen on.
moon screen.
This week I'll be in Austin. The week after we're actually visiting my son for the A&M UMass game.
Oh, the smart
nice.
one.
And so hopefully A&M wins this game because that will be just a horrendous, turnout.
There'll be 100 there.
Yeah.
There will be.
So this is a real
UMass.
toss-up. Y'all want to
You
choose
bet.
first, and let me see what y'all choose. You're waiting to see what I choose on this one. I've gone back and forth on this all day long.
Yeah, you got the DC connection there.
Yeah,
too.
I know.
Direct current.
I got the DC connection, but I also got my son. He bought into the maroon and white over there really quick.
That's what I said. The smart
And
card.
so I'm going to go with A&M for this game.
The smart one you spawned.
Well, I tell you what, you guys are really going to be right on top of the Aggies there. So let's do Texas A&M.
There you go. Good.
I couldn't decide what to do on this, but I wanted to use Chance as my barometer. You know, is it like
Is he your friend, Chance?
Oh, yeah.
is he confident or is he just
Oh.
dancing
One
around
thing this
it?
guy is not lacking in his confidence.
A&M won. With Connor Wegman in, A&M got it.
You know, I figured they probably lost last week because of the flu outbreak.
Yeah.
You know, and then I think Auburn had an overtime game without their first game since they fired the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
So now I think they're probably emotionally drained. And
Back to reality.
Back to reality.
Yeah.
So tough, but I'm going to go ahead and take A&M.
I'm going to take Auburn.
Ooh, War Eagle.
We know this game is the line on this game has waffled back and forth all week long. The last time I saw it, the Aggies were a 1.5-point favorites, so I think it's going the other way now. But it's just one of those deals that there've been a lot of quarterback problems. I think that if Jimbo ever gets that quarterback problem solved, and I think he does, I do like their freshman quarterback. He's a good one. Although King passed for 279 yards against the Gators in a loss, and I really like this freshman quarterback that Auburn has, Robbie Ashford. He's a little better runner than he is a passer, but he's a great talent, and he's an up-and-coming young player for them. All that being said, I'm going to go with the Aggies.
There you go. Eagle.
It's going to be a close game. We know that. It'll be a close game. So that'll take us to our next college game. Mr. Edwards, we've got the 8-1 North Carolina Tar Heels at the 6-3 Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. Wake Forest is a 3.5-point favorite on this game.
Yeah, that's
Crazy.
North Carolina country there.
North
My son
Cackalack.
went to North Carolina, and Wake Forest is there. Arnold Palmer, he was a Wake Forest guy. But I'm going to go with North Carolina. Mac Brown, and he's turned that program around. I mean, they weren't bad, but they've been better since he's been there.
Yeah, his return. They're at like that point spread threw me a little bit, but you got to go with ever since I left the University of Texas, Mac Brown and Sally are wearing our Tar Heels. Me and Sally, we're gonna go with the Tar Heels. No?
No, yeah, absolutely.
That was a great
I'm a
impression.
little hoarse, but I mean, I thought it was great.
That was a great impression.
I just closed my eyes and that's all I saw was Mac, dude.
Yeah, about the same size stomach too.
Yeah, you need to lay off the cookies, I think.
Yeah, Sally makes good cookies.
That has been the rumor for a long time.
I can't remember who at the beginning we had North Carolina versus Notre Dame. I think
Yeah,
I think it was you
Notre
that
Dame
said
played
every year they pick North Carolina and they always have that one letdown game and then they lost that game and all that stuff.
Who knew?
I kind of have a feeling this is going to happen here, but I'm still going to pick the Tar Heels. I don't know.
Yeah, well, Mac Brown sounds less like a college football coach and more like a politician sometimes. I mean, he's a good talker and I heard him on an interview the other day, in a college football interview, and he does better than anybody just giving an interview. Just can spit out the lines one after another and has the right things to say. It's going to be a tough game for him, but I think their quarterback's kind of a dark horse Heisman candidate right now in May, playing just lights out. I think he's going to have to score a lot of points because their defense is not very good. Yeah, give me North Carolina in this game.
I'll tell you what, North Carolina and Wake Forest, I got 45% with North Carolina and 56% with the Wake Forest. I'm going to go with Wake Forest.
Tim Duncan.
Demon Deacon, yes sir.
Pretty hard to argue with that, but I know North Carolina's on a winning streak, at least 5 in a row, and I think Wake Forest is coming off a loss. Have they lost 2 in a row, maybe?
I believe they've lost, 2 in a row, Louisville and North Carolina State.
Yeah, so give me the Tar Heels.
Yeah, I'm going with the Tar Heels too.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Tar Heels. I will say this, that the trend in the series has been against North Carolina. They've lost 4 of the last 6 against Wake Forest. But, I can go against Mac Brown. He's a great recruiter, and he led Texas to the last national championship that they had. So, got to go with the Heels for him and for Sally.
Yeah.
And those cookies.
I think his job description's a little less stressful over there.
Yeah.
So he's just relaxed a little bit. And,
It's much more relaxed there in every way.
But yeah, I think he fits in
not their
really
life.
well.
I'll tell you what, living in Chapel Hill is a lot more relaxed than in Austin.
Oh, yes.
Not near the traffic.
And he's a sweet human being. He's a sweet guy. I remember they invited me to a camp. Sorry, short story, but
go ahead, man.
quick camp, and we were over there, and I may or may not have been wearing maroon, and and he made it a point to come over and he said, "Man, I love your school. Thank you for being here." And it was really cool of him to say,
who could it be?
Somebody here.
You can keep on knocking, but you can't come in.
Is it locked?
I think we. Y'all want to announce this, chamber people, or are you? Okay, all right. Well, Luigi's has been a great supporter of ours all year long, and they are the chamber's business of the month this month.
Yeah.
They knew that, yeah. So,
Good job,
they'll get a nice
Luigi's.
little sign out in front of the business, and once again, if y'all haven't been there, please go by and try them. They do a great job with the extra special attention to their patrons, and so please go by and try Luigi's.
Yeah.
All right.
Recommended by me and Luigi.
Luigi.
All right,
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Bye-bye, thanks. Sure smells good.
It does. We still
Usually this
got
part
4 or
of-
5 games to go here. That's going to be tough. Yeah. Okay, our next game, real quick, is the Army Black Knights at the Trojan. We've got the Army Black Knights at 3-5, visiting the Troy Trojans at 7-2.
Yeah, let's hurry
Troy's
this
a
up.
9-point favorite. Mr. Edwards.
The Trojans are a 9-point favorite. You know, the Trojans,
We know. I can't wait for
they
this.
never have let me down.
There you go. I was waiting.
You know, they'll bend, but they won't break on defense, and so I'm gonna Trojan up, boys. Give me the Trojans.
My man. Yeah, I don't even know. This is Troy. Troy, the Trojan horses. Yeah, come on. Your turn.
Trojan man. Give me the Trojans, Troy.
Yeah, man. Oh, we gotta Trojan.
I guess I've started a tradition here. We go 2 down here and 2 over there. It never even occurred to me before the game. And I read that, and it was Willie's turn. I went, oh, no.
That was a mistake, right?
We knew. We knew. I had to remind him when we first started this thing. I had to remind him.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jay.
No, this is your fault.
No, that's the only time.
It's your fault.
That's the only time that's the only time I've let the Trojans slip on me. Is when Jan when Charlotte played earlier, and I didn't take my Trojan shot there.
I was so surprised.
All right, give me Troy also.
Well, I'll tell you good luck. James, what you did to my friend Willie. Army and Troy, we go with Troy.
Yeah, Troy 9.5-point favorite, so Trojans.
I think so. The other statistics that speak to it is Army's lost 4 of their 5 road games, and Troy has won 4 straight home games. Troy, absolutely.
They got to go with Troy. They're setting themselves up for a big showdown down the line with Coastal Carolina for the Sun Belt Conference title, so they want to stay on a roll right now and go with Troy.
The Chanticleers.
Leave it to the newspaper man to stay focused on his notes after they all transpired there. I mean, you had your notes, you still had
Oh, he's got a
talking
book.
points.
He has had practice.
True professional right there.
All right, that'll take us through our college games. Now we'll get to our local high school playoff week 1 action. Just down the road, we'll start with the Hondo Owls. Hondo's 5-5. I think the 2nd seed in that district, going up against the Randolph Rollhawks. They're 8-2. It'll be Friday night in Marion. So, Mr. Edwards?
Man, they're playing in Marion. I'm going to go with Randolph here. I think they're, they've had a better record, and Hondo hadn't been very impressive this year. So, give me Randolph, the Rollhawks.
Yep, same here. Give me the Mohawks.
The Mohawks. No mullet. No mullet.
No mullet. No.
No mullet,
Keep it
man.
under the helmet.
No mullet.
Give me the Mohawks.
I don't know.
Yeah, Hondo has kind of been up and down all season. I'm gonna go with the Rollhawks on this one.
Well, their one common opponent this year is Marion. They both played. Hondo played Marion, I think, the first game of the season. Lost a very tight ball game. I think maybe a 1-point game or something close to that. And then Marion is in Randolph's district, and Randolph beat Marion, I think, 27-13, something like that. But that was at home, and Hondo played in Marion. So this will be the 2nd trip for Hondo to Marion and played in the stadium this year. it's another one to me. I think the Hondo Owls have everything it takes to win this football game, but I'm going to go with Randolph.
Randy.
Well, since it's been a tight game, like you said, the first game that they played, I'm going to still stick with Hondo.
I don't think that's a bad pick at all. I think it's going to be a close one.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, it's hard to figure with Hondo because it seems like they've been up and down all year. You don't know what you're going to get. So
Looks good for Hondo.
This may be the up.
But I think Randolph is a favorite in this one. So Rohawks.
Mohawks.
Whatever.
What is a rohawk? A swimming bird?
No, but their logo is like a rocket with eagle wings or hawk wings.
You know, we sat here and talked about this before the show, and we do have something called Google now. And nobody looked it up to even look it up.
I don't bring my phone in.
Hey,
Let me look up.
We're all born before the internet.
ruined so many good arguments
What is
there.
that contraption you've got in your hand?
Well, while he's
Google,
looking
what's
at
that?
that, we need to move on because the pizza is getting cold.
Yeah, I'm with you. I wouldn't mind
And
that.
I'm going to go with Randolph.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Randolph as well. You know, they finished third in their district, but they lost only to Lano, and it was a 10-7 score in Blanco, 21-14. A little luck in those games, they could be the district champions in that district. So go with Randolph in that one.
And there is no Wikipedia for a Rohawk. The first thing that comes up is Randolph Rohawks. So
Did
maybe
you mean
they came
Mohawk?
up with their own
That's what it
logo.
is.
They made it up.
One of a kind. One of a kind.
They made it up.
Yeah, some
All right,
good luck.
Because they did that because it
Is
had to go with
Row
R.
a letter in the
Yeah,
alphabet?
exactly.
There
Greek
you go.
alphabet?
Yeah, I think there's a row in there.
Maybe
There's a wave
because
in there.
isn't Randolph kind of like a military base? Maybe it has something to do
Delta and the
with
theta.
something with the military.
Signal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
some kind of Air
Yeah.
Force.
When James said, that's very cerebral.
Well, you know,
That's why you're on that side of the table.
Hey,
Hey, come on.
This end of the table.
Trying to put some
never
serious thought into
points
this.
it out.
You come for the knowledge, you stay for the goofy.
what does cerebral mean?
All right, our next high school playoff game, right down the road, we've got the 10-0 Savannah Yellow Jackets. They are playing the Pettis War Eagles, another War Eagle, Thursday in Natalia. They're Thursday night instead of Friday night. I think Savinow's coming off a historic season for them. Hadn't been undefeated in a long, long time, I think I was told. And so, Mr. Volz?
Well, I mean, you have to go with Sabin on this one. They're undefeated. They've had a tremendous season. I think they've been one of these surprise teams in the area, going 10-0. What a season they've had. Of course, they had an exciting win last week over Rock Springs. I think they scored like in the, I want to say like in the last minute to win that game, to nail down the title. They beat Pettis earlier in the season. They beat them 34-6 in a pre-district game. I think this game could best be described in the way in the movie Rocky III. Clubber Lang was asked before his rematch with Rocky Balboa for a prediction, and he said, "Prediction, pain."
Pain.
Go with Sabinal.
Sabinal.
yeah, great Rocky reference. Yeah, how can you go against Sabinal? They've had such a great year. Give me the Jackets.
Hopefully they can keep doing that winning streak, and looks good for Sabinal.
Looks good.
Yeah, I think they had their look-ahead game last week against Rock Springs. Not that Rock Springs is a good team, but they've been beating some good teams pretty soundly. And last week was a little closer than I think anybody really thought it was going to be. And so they had that look-ahead week. I think they roll into the playoffs, and in round one they take care of Pettis and move on to round two. So give me Sabinal.
Yeah, I'm going with the Jackets on this one. Don't know too much about Pettis. Sabinal is just playing great ball. Good luck to y'all guys. Hopefully, I'll bring home the W. Give me Sabinal.
So I got to ramp up because if I start too low, because my voice, if I sit on it too long, we might not have it. But Pettis and Sabinal, they played this year already. And
Right.
Sabinal kind of took it to them, didn't they?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've seen everything we got going on. So let's go with the Sabinal to keep rolling.
You know, I'm going to be a little cerebral here.
Whoa, nice.
I think this is a no-brainer. So, no, yeah, man, 7-0 put me nervous last week, man. I was listening to the Coyote game, and, you know, they were behind 9-7 or something pretty late in the game, and I was like, come on, Jackets. So, no, Jackets all the way. Go 7-0. That'd be great to see them have a run.
All right. Well, that
And they
takes.
got the Dairy Queen. They got the new Dairy Queen.
What more could you want?
Man, everything's coming.
Yeah, we don't even have Dairy
About
Queen right now.
Texas.
All right. Well, that takes us to our playoff football game of the week. On Friday night over at Edgewood Stadium, we have the 5-5 Uvalde Coyotes facing the 6-3 Canyon Lake Hawks. It's an exciting time. The Coyotes were out of the playoffs last year, but they're back and looking for a win in the first round. Mr. Volz.
Well, needless to say, I'm going with the Coyotes. I always go with the Coyotes. This is going to be a tough game. Canyon Lake is our district champions. They beat a good Lampasas team last week. And what a great comeback in that game for them. They're down, I believe, I think it was 30-20. They came back to win the game 34-30. But they had 3 fourth quarter touchdowns, and 2 came in the last 3.5 minutes of the game.
Good, great.
So that tells you a little bit about how good Canyon Lake is. But the Coyotes have had a great season this year. They're playing hard. I think they're going to give their best effort of the season. And go Coyotes.
Yeah, on neutral ground, show them Coyotes. Uvalde strong. Go Yotes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good luck to the guys that had a great season so far. It's going to be a really tough game, but you know they've been playing hard every single week this season. And just leave it all out there and see what happens. So go Coyotes.
I'll tell you what, I know Coach Miller is looking at us right now. Mr. Miller, ring us that win, okay? Go Coyotes.
All right.
Yeah, Canyon Lake, they had beaten Davenport earlier in the season in district play, and I think they snuck out of that one with a win, and I think they did the Coyotes a favor coming back Friday night and winning. I think Davenport was probably the tougher of the two teams. Davenport's got a great running back, and they rely heavy on him. But I think they may have spent some of their energy last week coming back at the last minute. Coyotes have been in some ball games in the end. In the middle of the game where just a couple things would have just turned the other way. We would have had a very tight fourth quarter game, and I think Canyon Lake is pretty equivalent to some of those teams. And so, I not only am I going to take the Coyotes, I think Coyotes got a real chance to dance in round 2, and maybe look forward to a Coyote versus Coyote matchup. I think Alice is opposite of us, so give me the Coyotes, and good luck, boys. Play hard. Nothing you can do but come home with a win.
Yes, sir. Good luck, boys. Have fun. Play loose. Man, just go out there and ball out, man. I mean, go out there and represent yourselves, represent the town, and get past this round. Go on to the next one. Good luck, Coyotes. Go Coyotes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Last week they really started off. They had something going. I think they figured something out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because they started fast, and then to go, you're a fake away from really, that's kind of where the momentum shifted, and I think they found something. They did some cool trickeration and kind of really just opened up the box there. And I think this is going to be a real interesting game, and I think we got a real shot. So let's go Coyotes. I think we got it.
Yeah, go Coyotes, and thanks for a great season.
Sure.
You've done a lot for this community this year, and I personally can't thank you enough. So go Coyotes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, those kids they've had a lot of pressure on them that most high school football teams don't need.
That's right.
All in all, they've
never
dealt
had
with it really, really well.
That's
and
right.
represented this community really well.
Sure.
And
They
so,
can hold their heads high.
Friday night, I think win, lose, or draw. That's one thing we can count on. They're going to represent this community well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Everybody will be proud of them, but once again, I think they got a real shot to come home with a W here.
Yes, sir.
That'd be
Yes, sir.
cool.
Absolutely, man. Always
Play
proud of
hard,
you boys.
Coyotes. We look forward to talking about you next week and
Yes, sir.
talking about
Yeah.
round 2. A couple things before we sing our way out of here. Two things that are still at the chamber going on are we've got some Hunters Roundup calendars still for sale here at the chamber office. They're $100 a calendar, and what it does, it gives you a chance all year long to participate in the gun raffle. And so come on by the chamber, pick those up. Do we have a finite amount of those left, or
yeah, they're only selling 500 of them.
Yeah, and how many do we have left?
Limited editions.
But
Yeah.
okay, we still got about 200 or so of those. So please come down, support the chamber, and also a great opportunity to win. Second thing, while you're here getting your calendar, you can also pick up 2 tickets to the post Thanksgiving feast dance here at the Civic Center. It'll be a raffle. It was $10,000 cash giveaway at the end of the night. No food will be served. Everybody will be nice and stuffed on Thanksgiving.
No more turkey tacos.
Bring a plate. Bring a plate.
Done with your in-laws, and time to move on to something fun for the night. It'll be an open bar, and it's it's 8 to 12, but it's a couple is 125. It's 125 a couple, but you can buy in extra chances to win the money at $50 a pop. That's why I couldn't remember if it was 100 or 125, if it was double or not. So it's 125 a couple. So please, it should be a great event. Great live music. Come on down and buy tickets.
Dance the turkey away.
Wait, but who's playing?
You can have the
Estilo.
The band is
Estilo.
No.
Oh, during the dance hall dreamer.
CeeLo and the Dancehall Dreamers
just
will
wanted
be
you to
opening
say
for
the
them.
top.
And so it's right in front of me. Thank you, Chance. I appreciate that.
No,
They populated it up there for me. Usually I'm looking at you on that side, and so
I just want to see what you would say with as
you know. I'm looking for answers over here, and I need to be looking right at here. So, you learn something, and you move on.
You really
Anyway, that being said, go Coyotes.
Go Coyotes.
Looking forward to it. If you cannot make it to Edgewood Stadium, once again, listen to UvaldeRadio.net and cheer on the Coyotes at home. It'll be a fun night. So, well, we're going to sing our way out of here.
You got it.
You'll always be loyal and true all through our school days, and when we are through, Uvalde High, 3 cheers for you, rah, rah, rah. We pledge our hearts and ourselves to you.
Go